Welcome to Cosmo's Quilt Bag. Today we pull no punches. Today we get angry. Today we are talking about Andry José Hernández Romero. My apologies in advance. In the pursuit of visibility on this topic, there are words I will have to avoid saying here so that this video doesn't get taken down or shadow banned. My intention is to present this topic honestly in spite of this. Bear with me. When we delve into queer history, it is crucial to talk about the joy. It follows, though, that we must also talk about the pain. In this country, in front of our faces and every day, people of color are being abducted from school, work, court, their homes, and sent to detention centers. One such person relegated to one such facility was Andry José Hernández Romero. Andry, makeup artist and resident of Venezuela, sought asylum in the United States of America due to the harassment he faced at home for his sexuality and his refusal to help promote government propaganda at the television station he worked at. He was being followed home by armed men threatening him, and on one occasion was slapped by his boss in front of his coworkers. In Venezuela, Andry was a crucial part of the Reyes Magos de Capacho festival, a century-old celebration that he was an actor in, also supplying the costumes. His hope in coming to the USA was to someday open a beauty salon or explore his other passions in clothing design and tailoring. On August 29th, 2024, he arrived for his CPB1 appointment, the first step for those of y'all still obsessed with the right way. He passed his initial credible fear assessment, meaning he demonstrated he did have reason to seek the safety of asylum, but was detained because of his two wrist tattoos. You'll notice that the tattoo on the left side of this image says mom, and the tattoo on the right side of this image says dad. Despite his mother providing a certificate of good conduct from the mayor of his town certifying that he had no criminal record, and a petition from 600 people in his community to demonstrate his character, the United States decided, with no evidence, that he was linked to a gang because of his tattoos. The crowns depicted that allegedly linked him to the gang were crowns from the aforementioned festival in his hometown. This initial detention and delay occurred under the Biden administration. I encourage you to sit with that for a moment. I won't tell you how to feel about that fact, just to internalize it and decide what it means to you. Because the gears of the blood machine turned slowly, he sat in this detention until Trump's second term began, suddenly turning months of unnecessary detention into a truly depraved deportation to El Salvador, a country he was not from nor had ever visited, for the sole reason of being held at CCOT. No trial, no judge, no legal representation. This was made possible to Trump by the same wartime law that allowed the creation of Japanese internment camps in the 1940s. And, of course, the fact that no one with any power is willing to hold him accountable in a meaningful way. I want to issue one more warning here. While I will have to censor some words, the topics and images from this point on are difficult to stomach, but important to hear. Upon his arrival at CCOT, Andry was forced to kneel and his head was shaved, a well-worn dehumanization tactic. He described seeing his fellow prisoners with broken fingers, fractured ribs, and marks on their face from rubber bullets shot at close range. Those at CCOT have no reliable access to food and water, have no privacy, and are often kept in isolated rooms with no lights for extended periods of time. Metal bunks with no mattresses, cells shared with many others, and guards that delight in finding any reason to make an example out of you. They are denied medical care and given no contact with the outside world. Andry's family only knew he was alive because he was featured in an episode of 60 Minutes that detailed prisoner experience. Andry described in a television interview being sexually assaulted by guards. When he was caught pouring water on himself to find relief from the heat, 3 guards forced him to perform acts on them and used their batons to threaten his anatomy. For a brief moment to breathe, I inform you that while the misery apparatus continues and many other human beings remain detained for no reason but political violence, Andry is now back with his family in Venezuela after 125 days at CCOT. Though he now may be unable to leave the country he tried to flee in search of a safe queer life. What was the purpose of his detention in the first place? A queer person feared for his life, wanted to pursue a life he felt safe to live, and we responded by detaining, torturing, and sexually abusing him? People will still, to this very day, ask why we make everything about race. Because in a country stolen from natives, built by slaves, and maintained by exploited immigrants, everything is about race. Racism is a built-in feature. It's the fabric the first flag was sewn from. It's the parchment on which the Declaration was written. How much of history rhyming do you have to hear before you understand what song is being sung? And if your fighting spirit ends with what you need, are you fighting for queer liberation or personal comfort? Until next time.